One of the most important things, and I think this is forgotten in our industry, is everybody dives in to do microneedling because it's a trend, or a peel, or laser, or whatever it is, because that's what we've been led to believe is, the best. I am going to say categorically, from science, this is not just me saying this, from science, if the skin barrier, and its function and its health and protection is not working, excuse my very British, turn of a phrase, but you are just blowing smoke. You are not going to get the results that you're looking for from that high-powered treatment. So you need to be able to look at your client's skin and have a look and ask the right questions. Is it dry? Is it semi-dry? How old are you? What color is it? How does it feel? Does it feel moist when you touch it when they're on the table? Or does it feel rough in parts? How does it feel? Does it feel and look like a healthy barrier? And again, one of the biggest problems we have today is the way our estheticians are trained in school, and you may well have been trained the same way, but life has changed, is that, a pink skin is classed as sensitive. No, it's not. It might be, but did you ask her if she's sensitive to anything in particular? And if they go, no, and if you look, and I have to be very politically correct here, look at the shape of their body, look at their lifestyle, look how old they are. A lot of that redness is systemic or chronic systemic inflammation. And your skin, being your largest organ, is an organ of elimination. If it's got inflammation and nasty stuff in it, it's going to come out through your skin, and your skin is going to look pink. End of. And if it's looking pink, whether it's sensitive dry or whether it's chronic systemic inflammation, the barrier is broken. And that is job one. You have to fix that first. Only then can you go to step two, which you can see from your screen is hydration. As we age, the hardest thing to do is maintain hydration as well as a healthy barrier. If you've got those two things, you are well on your way to, looking 5 to 10 years younger than you are actually in, on your physical count or your physical age. So first thing I want to talk about is barrier function. So what is the barrier made up of? Anybody know? It's made up of essential fatty acids and ceramides. And those essential fatty acids are critical to its health. So we've got a few things to have a look at for barrier function. And because we all live here on the East Coast, and we have our lovely East Coast North American winters, they're just lovely, aren't they? Unless you live in Florida. We take a beating in the winter. Every single woman from the age of 40 and on in the winter should be having some kind of lipid serum on their skin, because it is critical to barrier function and structure, and it's going to keep the skin moist. It's going to keep the skin working. So Serum 45, I think a lot of you are familiar with. I'm not going to dwell on it. These are made in-house. Me, the international aromatherapist, during COVID and everybody's desperation, I kind of went into my clean room and out this one came. And really, it was designed at that time for the high levels of anxiety that people were experiencing during COVID. So this is really good for women with PMSA or perimenopausal, where their progesterone has dropped and their anxiety is, through the roof. It's lightweight in the oils, but heavy in essential fatty acids to keep that barrier going. But it's the smell of it that is also very calming and de-stressing to the brain. some of my clients are absolutely addicted to this. It's absolutely crazy. So it is a handcrafted lipid serum designed to alter your senses. The smell is important and have a calming effect on your client. So what we like to do when we're using this in treatment is to put a few drops on the finger pads. We don't put aromatherapy products in the palm. We put them on the finger pads. We hold them over the nose and we have them breathe in that beautiful organic aroma. And then we get on with applying it to the skin. So we can use this also for lymph drainage for those of you that do it. Please note that don't do your lymph drainage with this oil and then expect to put on a water-based serum. So water-based serums have to go on the skin first. Then this can go on. The two will power blend together, and your touch in doing the lymphatic drainage will help also penetrate that water-based serum. So when we look at it, and I'm not going to go through all of this, but you will see that we've got key antioxidants in here, vitamin A and E, and you'll see on each thing, here's the fatty acids, here's the fatty acids, here's fatty acids, and don't have fatty acids in there. That's for a different reason, but I will come to it. But now we move into the anti-inflammatory. So 3 lots of fatty acids are here. Bear in mind that soy also is really loaded with phytoestrogens. So it's good for females' skin, particularly in perimenopause and menopause, because you're getting a little bit of plant-based estrogen to boost your own. Very, very important. Now, I added argan and jojoba for a completely different reason. Argan oil is really, really good, I can't say it today, non-comedogenic, sorry, my apologies. And is really, really good with orchestrating recovery from hormonal breakouts as well. It works really, really well. And jojoba is very, very anti-inflammatory. So where we've got, little boo-boos on the skin that are appearing in perimenopause due to hormonal fluctuation, Serum 45 is going to work very well for them. It's not heavy. It's got the ingredients for the health of the barrier and also to help them a little bit with those acne breakouts and the healing of the pock marks or the scars that breakout can cause. One of the things that you do not want to do, one of the things you do need to do if you have a perimenopausal woman whose hormones are dropping and they're getting breakouts, whatever you do, stop them from picking at it, because once your hormones get to a certain low level, you heal with red marks, not brown marks. And those red marks are a nightmare to reduce and get rid of. I speak from experience on that one. That was a hardcore lesson in terms of where I was at with the whole thing back in the day. So this one works beautifully well, both in your treatments and at home in the winter. Very important. All right. And we did 55 as well. Sometime maybe in 2026, I'll come out with 65 because more of us will be in that decade at that point. So in 55, what I did was I changed up the essential oils and the carrier oils to be collagen boosting and more power in their ability to repair. So you'll see the soy is still there, but I actually put in the rose hip, which is very high in vitamin C for collagen enhancement and firmness. Evening's primrose, which has got one of the highest levels of fatty acids for barrier function. I actually take, and I do recommend, quick tip, as a homeopath now, evening primrose if women are perimenopausal and getting hot flashes and their barrier is declining. Evening primrose is a lifesaver. Taken in the morning or the evening, it reduces the intensity of hot flashes and it really helps prevent that drying out. You can find it in any good health food store. Doesn't need any specific prescription or anything. I can't talk enough about it. It's beautiful. My mom, bless her socks in the day, she used to break hers in half she's pop one in her mouth, break the second one in half, and put it all over her face. So she was funny that way. She was great. Okay, so 55 is there, obviously 50 and over or 55 and over, with specific reference now to dropping estrogen, therefore dropping growth factors, dropping in messaging systems, etc., etc. So choose one or the other. This is classically menopause. Serum 45 is classically perimenopause, depending on what your client needs. Now, if you've not heard the great news, it's back. I think all of you will have rediscovered that by now. I had to have this because all of the rules that changed in the past 18 months. This is now, and I'm very proud of it, my personally owned formulation that nobody else on the planet can have. How's that for? I'm so proud of that. It was great. It took, I don't know, Alexander, what was it? 9 months to a year to get this done, maybe more. But everything, the original formula is there, but excuse the pun, but we also gave it a facelift. Okay, so it's still the same color, it still smells great, it still feels the same. It's the most perfect power boost to your 45 and 55 serums. If you've got one, you can layer this one as the cream. So if you've got a client that wants a very simple routine and it's December and January, give her the appropriate lipid serum and give her one of these. It is for dry skin, sensitive skin, multiple types of skin, multiple age groups. It's what you put underneath it that changes how it reacts with the skin. So for instance, for me, in my 7th decade, I need to put my Hydrolift serum underneath, then I might layer a little bit of 55 and then I can put my cream on top. So I layered all of that together so they can work as one. Because here in this cream, it has got messaging systems. Here we go, palmitoyl tetrapeptide 7 and palmitoyl tetrapeptide 1. They are signal peptides. Remember from the beginning, signal peptides to boost collagen and reduce inflammation. We're using sodium hyaluronate. What is that? Well, sounds like hyaluronic acid. It is, but it's a far more stable form of hyaluronic acid so that we can get it deeper into the skin. We also put some ubiquinone in there, coenzyme Q10, and I'm not quite sure if you know what that does, but coenzyme Q10 is a chemical that you produce yourself in every single cell of your body. Coenzyme Q10 is the mother of all antioxidants. It leaves in its wake resveratrol and all the vitamin C's you can think of. Coenzyme Q10 is it. It helps you deal with oxidative stress. It boosts the energy in the skin cells, which as we age, obviously is also dropping. So coenzyme Q10 is beautiful. We have a very stable form of vitamin C, which I'm sure you all know about. You don't need me to talk about that. But we also have our old friends, calendula, that was in there in the first place, blueberry seed oil, 3 types of blueberry seed oil. I went over the top. But we also have sea buckthorn, which is one of the most researched oils on the planet today that is being researched in terms of premature aging and repair. It is anti-inflammatory, it's wound healing, it's all of the things that we've talked about. And then we've got this gorgeous blend of fruit extracts at the bottom. So a blueberry seed extract, raspberry, pineapple, bergamot, all bringing in their antioxidant power. So this whole cream is truly an antioxidant powerhouse that you can blend with your 45, 55, or you're over the top of a retinol, over the top of a Hydrolift, over the top of a vitamin C cream. You can power blend this particular cream any way that you like according to what your client needs. And remember, is this a nighttime corrective repair thing, or is this a daytime protective thing? The two are different. You do 2 different things, morning and night. So DNA repair cream can pair with serum 45 during the day. It's cold, it's bitter cold, it's -30, whatever it is. Perfect combo. At night, DNA cream can mix with Hydrolift serum to put that winter moisture back. That dry wind in the winter sucks the moisture out of our skin. So let's do auto-correct in the evening with Hydrolift serum, and let's do protective during the day. So this is how we power boost. So I'm hoping you're all getting that concept right out of the gate. Okay, so morning and night, two different things. Okay, we've done all of that. We'll move on. Right, so we're going to talk about hydration. Hydration, after the barrier is fixed, hydration is our number 2 key goal. There's no point in trying to boost and rehydrate a skin until such time as that barrier is in full effect, right? It's like trying to hydrate and you go out in the cold wind or the hot sun, it just disappears unless that barrier is there to keep it in. So we have 2 different sets of hydrations things depending on the age of your client. So we're going to start with our demographic. The first group is for menopause. This is, according to researchers, the most difficult age group to hydrate. There's been so much research in this. So hyaluronic acid that was used in the past just doesn't work anymore. It has to have ultra filling spheres. It's got to have encapsulated delivery. And when we hydrate menopausal skin, it's got to go in right to the bottom and then lift up and hydrate from underneath. That is the only way that we can do it in this age group. So it is the first ones of a mature, dehydrated and premature aging. We can use these Hydrolift products morning and or night and power blend it with a vitamin C, whatever you like. And they are amazing for pre and post treatments. So the Hydrolift serum under LED, post dermaplaning is amazing. Microneedling, fantastic. It works really, really well. Or post laser if your client is doing laser. All right, so I have to say this is one of my faves. I would be lost without it, and it has a research story behind it of 2 guys who started to look at the menopausal group of 60, specifically 60 and over, but you can use it 50 and over. And what they found were problems with hydration from the group that was their research group, their demographic hydration. They also found that generally firming the skin was very difficult. And the women's biggest complaint was this jawline, right? So there was 3 primary complaints. So knowing that from a very specific demographic, off they went to work. And this particular product is known to plump even the deepest wrinkles without injection. It firms and reshapes the skin after hormonal changes have started. It has peptide technology that supports collagen. And here's that word. You remember DEJ, dermal epidermal junction? There is technology in here that specifically targets that to bring the dermis and the epidermis into that nice, tight union that it has to have, which in turn starts to lift this. Now, is it going to give you a facelift? Absolutely not. But is it going to create a really great improvement? Absolutely. All right. We also have a really deep hydration. We use low molecular weight hyaluronic acid, but it is paired with Sesaflash peptide, messaging, signaling peptide. I think you can guess where it's from, and I think you can guess what it does. It comes from sesame seed, and it lifts instantly, hence the term Sesaflash. And wherever you see this TM, it means it is a scientifically built and trademarked product. Very important. The Sesaflash is paired with glucomannan. And together they reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. So we got the technology in here as well. But remember I said all your messaging systems start to go down? Well, all of this technology supports and boosts that intracellular communication, specifically at the dermal epidermal junction. If you can get that job done, you are absolutely on a winner. So our hyaluronic acid is put into what we call ultra-filling spheres. And I want you to think of them as balloons. So think of a balloon that's flat in the package. You pull it out, you open up the neck, you start adding water in it, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So what happens is this particular filling sphere is filled with hyaluronic acid, but hyaluronic acid loves water. So as it goes through the system, it's pulling water, particularly more so from up in the dermis, where it's supplied with a blood flow of containing water. And this balloon starts to blow up, and you do know that if you overfill it, it bursts. So these ultrafilling spheres will absorb a certain amount. They'll be down at the bottom. By they've absorbed, they burst, and it hydrates from underneath. What does that mean? It means within a 30-day or 28-day turnaround that the skin makes, that we are going to see that lack of hydration fulfilled and ongoing. It's fantastic. But that's great. We have to reinforce the barrier. There's no point in bringing up all this moisture if the barrier is broken. So we've got the additional ingredient, Inchi Lipactive. It's amazing. It's from the Amazon. It is a recent discovery in skincare, if you like. It's a lipid, so we're supporting the barrier. It's got the highest amount of omega-3, 6, and 9 anywhere in the world in any other plant. I mean, it's stunning. It's absolutely amazing. And you can just feel that little bit of slip when you put the serum on your skin. We also have Cineorage. This is an architectural peptide, cetyl tetrapeptide 11, that promotes the oopsie daisy, sorry, promotes the production of collagen. But this is new on the market. This came as our latest reorganization, Organical Dewdrops. Doesn't that sound lovely? And that's exactly what they are. So now in the Hydrolift serum, we have not just the hyaluronic acid in the filling spheres, we have this wonderful addition of these dewy drops to actually promote that hydration in the skin. Beautiful. And then another peptide, Unismooth. And what we're going to do with Unismooth is calm redness. So what have we got here? We have got lift and firm and tightening in the DEJ. We've got increased barrier function. We've got increased hydration. And then we've got a little touch of anti-inflammatory down here with Unismooth. So 4 key factors that every perimenopausal, menopausal woman requires. I just can't speak highly enough. It was one of my earliest products, and it's still my favorite today. I use this day and night. I absolutely love it. We paired that with its cream. So here's the Power Boost. Now, what did we do? We took all of that and we put it in the cream. And then we boosted the cream. Okay, well, if you've got all of that, what the heck can you boost a cream with? What's left? All right. So what you'll see here is we have something called telomere protection. So here we are, we're dropping in growth factors, we're dropping in messaging systems, but yet we're hydrating, we're protecting the barrier, we've repaired the barrier, we've done all of that. But in order to repair, we have to be able to have those growth factors, and we have to be able to have mitosis, right? Do we all remember what mitosis is? Yes? Please nod. Mitosis, cell division, right? Okay. So A little bit of science for you. Every time your mother cell, all the mother cells stay in the basement membrane there, those mother cells divide, mitosis, and then the baby heads up and becomes that one that we're all taught rises to the surface. So the mother cell does not go anywhere. So what happens with the mother cell is, as you know, they've got the two intertwined DNA strands. And at the bottom of those DNA strands are two pieces of protein. So I want you to envision two old-fashioned shoelaces intertwined together. And you got two firm pieces at the top and you've got two firm pieces at the bottom. Can you all see that in your mind? Those are your protein telomeres that would be in your skin. And every time the mother cell undergoes mitosis, those two like firm pieces at the end of the telomeres get shorter and shorter and shorter. And you know, with a shoelace, once that plastic piece breaks, well, it's all frayed and you can't use it, so you throw it away. Well, that's the skin's version of apoptosis, and the cell is dead. Can't do anything about it. But what we can do is promote the life of those telomeres. And this was a Canadian invention, and it was all to do with cancer research, which I won't go into. But what we did in the Hydrolift Intensive is we added Renovage, and Renovage is your telomere protection, and it extends the life of your cells, which is, you know, when we think about it, it's not just about collagen boosting and so on and so forth. Now you know you've got to protect that cell division process. If the cells can't divide anymore, or they're not as fast as they used to be, we're going to age regardless. So needless to say that the Hydrolift Intensive Complex is one of our top selling products as well. With the Hydrolift Serum together, they become a power couple, right? I watch too much TV, power couple, too much Hollywood. Anyway, so they are a power couple, and they do everything in double action with the barrier, the DEJ, the messaging systems, all of that. So it all comes together and works incredibly well. Now, all well and good me talking about science, so I included a little science for you, and here is the Renovage science. So I'm going to go quiet for 30 seconds while you have a read. Please read. How's that for a bit of research? We all good? Everybody, you all good? Just nod because I can't hear you. Yeah, thumbs up. Right, are we good? Right. So you can see the concept of power boosting based on research, not because Trish said so. That's the important thing here. And all of our products follow that kind of research. So I gave you a little bit more on the Hydrolift Intensive. There's the acetyl tetrapeptide 11 again for your collagen production. There is your cineorange, which is what strengthens that dermal epidermal junction. So you can kind of highlight those and work well for firmness and pulling that together. We have squizandrol. This is actually an adaptogen. We actually won an award back in the day for this, for the smart use of adaptogens as we age. Adaptogens are actually a thing. So we used squizandrol in this. And again, it's targeting the DEJ, it's targeting your collagen, it's bringing that firmness and resilience to the skin so that you can be the best that you can be at every age. The question is, where do we use it? I said to you earlier that I tend to use the Hydrolift day and night. It's a bit of a staple. The Hydrolift Intensive Cream is my day 2 protective barrier. I don't often use this at night, I'll be honest. But during the day, it is kind of soft and creamy. It's got some shea butter and some different things in there that are really, really quite lovely, that you can enjoy. Shea, cocoa, mango butters. So you will feel that in the texture. And again, those are full of fatty acids. So can you hear me? Barrier function, barrier function, barrier function. It's where the key is. It's really, really important. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at hydration for millennials. Well, this is a whole different ball game. Okay, so we did include DNA repair cream in here, but I'm not going to obviously go back over DNA repair cream again. So what we're looking at is either collagen QSC or Hydro Boost. So we can use this as early as mid-30s, definitely into 40s before we switch to Hydrolift for 50s. They really do work well. You can use them pre and post treatment, so use them at home, but if they're coming in for a treatment, post peel. And our Hydro Boost is really good post microneedling, really, really good. So you can have it in a professional size and a retail size, and it's just straight up hyaluronic acid, sodium hyaluronate. So let's have a look at collagen QSC and what this is about. Well, the Q stands for Q10. We met that a little bit earlier. Coenzyme Q10 is the mother of antioxidants, and it is infused into this product to speed the energy of the cell. So by the time you're in your 40s and you're just starting to see those first early signs, this is a great product. You've got a little bit of slowdown in the metabolic function of the cell. So let's kind of pick it up while we can by using coenzyme Q10 in the formula. But what I love about this formula is what the S stands for, and that is silk amino acids. Oh, goodness me. And that is reflected in the texture. And they are really, really hydrating, like powerful, deep hydration. That is great in your late 30s and 40s. And then the C is we've got the copper ferment in there for the collagen elastin production. So Q10, silk aminos, copper ferment. That's how you can remember it. Okay, collagen QSC. Now, oopsie daisy, sorry. Jumped the gun there. Where did I go? There we go. Right. So you can put a small amount of this serum under a mask if you wish, in a treatment space, or simply under a cream as a finishing product. Certainly, client can go home with it. You can pair this with a nice vitamin C if you like. I would probably use, I don't use collagen QSC, but I would, if I was to, I would definitely use it as a nighttime product. And then I'd use our daily Vita C during the day. Again, what you've got instead of power boosting is complementing what the person of this age really, really does need. So you can complete that routine with your choice of moisturizer. So collagen QSC in the evening, or Hydro Boost or whatever during the day. Our vitamin C cream works really, really well with that. It works super well. We'll come to that shortly. Okay. Then we have, if we look at what's in the collagen QSC, we have some lactic acid, which gives the skin a very gentle exfoliation. But lactic acid is also hydrating. We have a very stable form of vitamin C, sodium ascorbyl phosphate, which is why I said you can pair it and boost it with daily Vita C if you wish. Okay. We do need vitamin C for collagen production. So if you're boosting collagen, this is not a daytime thing. It's a nighttime thing. For so long, I was banging away saying, okay, yeah, I know you love your vitamin C during the day for UV, protection against free radicals. But if you're a certain age, you need vitamin C at night as well to help you boost collagen. You can't make collagen without vitamin C. So you can do what you like, but vitamin C has to be in there somewhere. Okay. So it depends what you're doing. Could you use this at night? Yes, absolutely. Can you add a nice collagen-based product? Could you mix it with Hydrolift? Yeah, sure you could. Vitamin C cream? Yeah, absolutely. So sodium ascorbyl phosphate is very stable. There's your copper ferment that I put in there. And the copper ions in this particular product help you reduce inflammation by, maybe I should explain this. Can you see this word cytokines here at the end? Here. Cytokines, if you have a wound in the skin, you had too much sun, you scratched yourself, you had a treatment, or you've got acne. Acne is inflammation within the skin. There is an inflammation cascade, and cytokines are the trigger for that inflammation cascade. So if we can put that fire out with those cytokines, we can therefore reduce inflammation. So that copper ferment is a really important product where we do have any kind of either environmental inflammation or treatment inflammation. It works very, very well for that. But also those copper ions help the production of melanin. So that is a great ingredient in this product. There's our silk aminos, so containing the natural moisturizing factors. There's our Q10, and of course we've just got good old-fashioned green tea as an anti-inflammatory, which I absolutely love. So this is a great product for your millennial clients. All right, then last, the Hydro Boost. Now, Hydro Boost, it's a great product. We use it for microneedling. We highly recommend it for that. It is a straight up hyaluronic acid. So if you've got 48, definitely 50 and over and right on the edge of menopause, this is not going to work for them. That would be the Hydrolift. If you've got a 30 something, mid to late 30s that's feeling a bit dry or it's winter, it's a great product for that age group. It does have a lot of hyaluronic acid in it, and there's our Saccharomyces copper ferment again to help with all of that. But we also added a little bit of caviar extract in there. So if your client is completely vegan, they might not like that, but caviar is very rejuvenating to the skin. It works really, really well for that. So we put some recommendations for power boosting in here. Yes, you need the appropriate moisture cream. You could recommend any, dependent upon the client. Definitely a sunscreen. Use morning and evening or both. And it does pair perfectly with our Daily Vita C. Perfectly with Daily Vita C as an added protection to that. And that Daily Vita C for this age group with Hydro Boost can be used morning or evening. Works super well for that. To it, there's that nice stable hyaluronic acid. There's your copper ferment. There's your caviar and good old-fashioned ingredient, panthenol. So Hydro Boost is great. This is the second or third time you've seen this word copper ferment, Saccharomyces copper ferment, and the word sodium hyaluronate, stable hyaluronic acid. It's not some chemical or anything like that. But panthenol is a very old ingredient. My God, when I first started in aesthetics, panthenol was all the rage and things like that. But its ability and its vitamin B5 content is why it's used today, and it works with your barrier function. So it does work really nice. It's, in my books, it's a very simple formula for a very specific demographic, serves a very specific purpose. Okay, that's where I am. All right. Now, we've talked about lipid serums and we've talked about water-based serums. This is a quick reminder that whatever you're doing, In a treatment, it's water-based first and lipid second. And you are going to see, as we get into some of our vitamin C's, that we do have a lipid-based vitamin C, right? It's the new version of vitamin C that's, being advocated everywhere. So you have to know what you are looking at. So we do have to layer, and we have to layer in the right order, both in the treatment and for your clients. And when you see the new vitamin C, which is coming up very shortly, remember it's lipid-based. So a water-based serum has to go underneath it. Okay, so we're all clear with that in how we combine those products together, I hope.